Islam, Shalom, Hola, Aloha, Bonjour, Assalamu Alaikum, Osio. This is your brother Zach Bay, Indigenous American Moor, coming to you live in full effect. Thank you for joining me. Like, share, subscribe to my channel, hit that notification bell down below so you can be notified whenever I'm dropping new content. I really do appreciate your viewership. Leave a comment down below and interact with me. Let's jump into it. Black's Law Dictionary, 4th edition. I have some definitions for your dome piece. Let's get it. All right, first definition. This one stood out to me, especially what's going on with these migrants being let over into this country. But check it out. Asylum, all right? So they call these migrants or these immigrants asylum seekers, all right? But check out what's the definition for asylum. A sanctuary, right? Or a place of refuge and protection where criminals and debtors found shelter and from which they could not be taken without sacrilege. Isn't that something that these people coming over here looking for asylum, seeking asylum, and this is pretty much a definition for criminals. And then we've heard rumors that these other nations are emptying their prisons and sending their convicts across the border over here to America. And doesn't it exactly seem like exactly what's going on now? Asylum, where criminals and debtors found shelter. They coming here, fam, for asylum and their criminals. Just like how America was first started, Great Britain emptied their prisons and sent the so-called like explorers and these people, they sent them across the water over here to the so-called New World because they were, they were a burden on society. So how America was started, and the prisons were empty, and then those convicts and those people who were being persecuted religiously, and people who were just crazy, people who were exiles, people who were deviants, and all this stuff, they were sent across the water to the New World, most likely to die, because it was a lot of raids going on. There was still a lot of wars, the Indian wars going on. It wasn't safe for them over here. So the privileged people sent the undesirables across to potentially die. But that's what other nations are doing over here by sending their criminals and debtors to our country for asylum, isn't it? Like, it's pretty much what's going on. Shelter, refuge, protection from the hand of justice. See, the word includes in not only place but also shelter, security, and protection. All right. A fugitive from justice who committed a crime in a foreign country seeks an asylum at all times when he claims to use the territories of the United States. Right there, fam. Look at this. All right. Let's keep it moving. At large. All right, you might have heard this term used like in law, like at large. There's a criminal at large or something like that, right? It means not limited to any particular place, district, person, matter, or question, open to discussion or controversy, not precluded, free and unrestrained, and not under corporal control, as a ferocious animal, so free from restraint as to be liable to do mischief, fully in detail and in an extended form. All right, that's at large. There's a criminal at large. That means they're free and they're just unrestrained, they're roaming, and they're just doing whatever. So, all right, that's the legal term, at large. Let's see, at law. Harvey Birdman, attorney at law. I'm just kidding. You know what I'm saying? That's a joke for anybody who might have grew up watching Adult Swim back in the day. All right, at law. Let's check it out. According to law. All right, that's pretty much what at law means. According to law, by, for, or in law. Particular in distraction, distinction from that which is done in accordance to equity or the title as such a sergeant at law, barrister at law, attorney, or counselor at law. All right. So when you hear the term at law, that pretty much means according to law or like in law. You know, pretty simple, pretty simple. Let's continue to move it along here. Attest. All right. What does it mean if someone attests to something? All right. Mostly goes along with witness statements, verifications, things of that nature. If someone attests to attest to being a witness, attest to verifying the commitment of a crime, attest to seeing a document signed to, verify that that person did in fact do it. All right, but let's check it out. To bear witness to, it sounds simple enough. To bear witness to a fact, to affirm, to be true or genuine, to act or a witness, to act as a witness, certify, to certify to a variety of a copy and of a public document. All right, formally by signature, and to make a solemn declaration in words or writing to support a fact. All right, to signify by subscription of his name that the signer has witnessed the execution of a particular instrument. All right, so when you're signing certain documents that might ask for witnesses. All right, so when you're getting something notarized, the notary counts as a witness, and they're pretty much putting their name, they're signing their name to signify that this particular instrument was executed by said person. All right, so pretty much bear witness to something, to a fact. If you think about like a public notary, that's they're attesting to whatever you're getting notarized as a fact. All right, let's continue to move it along. Attorney. All right, so attorney has a few, but let's see in law exactly what it is. In the most general sense, this term denotes to an agent. All right, that's the main thing. An attorney is an agent or a substitute or one who is appointed and authorized to act in the place or stead of another. All right, so they're an agent no matter what. Attorneys are agents of the court. They're members of the Barristers Association of Great Britain. So all right, general sense denotes an agent or a substitute, or one who is appointed and authorized to act in the place of a person. All right, so if you ever get an attorney, you're putting the attorney in the place of you. They're supposed to act as you would act. You're giving them power to act in your stead, instead of you doing the act and you filing suit, filing the claims in your proper persona, your proper person. All right, appropriate persona. Let's check it out. Let's continue here. So also underneath attorney says attorney at large, and we already went over at large. In old practice, an attorney who practices in all courts. Pretty much that's what it is. An attorney who does all the courts: civil, criminal, family, taxes, estate, insurance, personal injury. Attorney who just does, who wears all the hats. Attorney at large. All right, an attorney at law, an advocate, a counsel, an official agent. Once again, that word agent, employed in preparing and managing and trying cases in the courts, an officer in the court of justice who is employed by a party in the cause to manage it for him. All right, so the main thing, you're employed. An attorney is someone who is employed by one of the parties to manage it for him. That's if you're not doing it yourself in the appropriate persona, you're putting an attorney in your place. And attorneys often do not always do what's in the best interest of their clients, because some things, some parts of law actually interfere or go against the oath that they took, being a part of the Barristers Association. All right, for their membership, and their membership could be in jeopardy, and their livelihood could be in jeopardy, because if we figure out the game that is being played on us with these words of art, like I went over before, of these words of art, we can be manipulated, and we will never truly have our freedom. We will never truly have equity. All right, so attorney in fact, let's continue along here. This is going to be the last one for under attorney. Our attorney in fact, a private attorney authorized by another to act in his place and stead, either for some particular purpose, or to do a particular act, or for the transaction of business. All right, transacting business. When a lot of people enter these courts, we're transacting business. A lot of times most of the time they're doing business in the form of your corporate person, your straw man, and they're not actually talking to the flesh and blood living natural person. All right, so see, transaction of business in general, or in a legal character. All right, this authority is conferred by an instrument or in writing called a letter of attorney, or more commonly known as power of attorney. All right, so that's the term I'm used to seeing, the power of attorney form. All right, so let's move it along here. Continue. All right, I wanted to hit audit. Now, the process of auditing accounts and the hearing and investigation had before an auditor. All right, so auditing consists of investigating and hearing an account. All right, the hearing and investigation had before an auditor. All right, so it's like processing accounts, going over details. All right, verb, audit, to hear, to examine an account, and in a broad sense, it includes an adjustment or allowance, disallowance, or rejection. All right. An audience, a hearing, an examination in general, a formal or official examination. All right, so that's making of like accounts or witnesses, vouchers, etc. All right, so when you're auditing anything, you're going over the books, you're going over the papers, you're going over, you're hearing data, statistics. You're examining things with like a fine-tooth comb. You're going over all the things that entail what you're auditing. Let's continue along here. All right, so when it comes to being an auditor and you're making sure that the public is safe, you're making sure that the funds that are being used in order to assist the public, or funds that should be going to public entities, public officials, public organizations, we have a right to audit that, being an auditor. So it says, look, a public officer whose function is to examine and pass upon accounts and vouchers of officers who have received and extended public money by lawful authority. All right. So anybody who receives public money, so anybody who pretty much gets paid through our taxes. All right. So any organization, we have the right as the public to audit these organizations and to examine these officers and to verify accounts. All right. So being a auditor is right here in the law, so it's definitely legal to do. It's good to verify, you know, facts. Make sure you record everything, and make sure, you know, everybody is safe. You know, public funds are being used properly. Make sure laws aren't being violated. Make sure everyone is doing their jobs correctly. All right, so that's all I have for you today. Once again, this is your brother Zach Bay. Peace.